pain, failure, uncertainty. All of these can bring us down, but they can also be stepping stones to rise up. The story begins with a young, ambitious man who has encountered countless failures in his career and love life. Each time he falls, he loses his will. But in the end, he realizes that only by facing pain and failure can he find his true worth. Have you ever wondered whether pain is something to be avoided, or is it the key to growth and happiness? Pain is not simply physical or mental pain, but a great teacher who helps us realize happiness and the meaning of life. Buddhism teaches that pain is an inevitable part, a tool to help people realize the preciousness of peaceful moments. A woman lost her husband in a sudden traffic accident. The pain seemed insurmountable, but thanks to the love from those around her, she turned her suffering into motivation to become a supporter of other widows, bringing comfort and hope to them. The suffering became the strength for her to help others, to continue living stronger. Suffering teaches us to sympathize, to share, and to know that no one is a completely independent individual. When we understand that everything has a cause and effect, and the operation of the universe, suffering becomes a source of energy to overcome ourselves. In the most difficult times, what helps us stand firm is faith and loved ones who are always by our side. When everything seems to disappear, if you still have someone by your side, it is extremely precious. A close friend who stood by your side throughout your recovery journey from a serious illness, never leaving you, never blaming you. It is these genuine relationships that motivate us to continue on our journey of life. Not everyone can be with us in difficult times, and therefore, those who stay by our side are the most precious. Trust cannot be seen but can be felt. When you face difficulties, the presence of someone who believes in you is the invisible strength that helps you overcome everything. That is more meaningful than any material possessions. Life is not a smooth road. It is full of challenges and adversities, but they help us grow. Buddhism teaches that nothing is fixed, everything changes, and we can overcome any challenge if we know how to look at them. There was a person who failed over and over again in his work. Every time he failed, he just blamed the circumstances. But when he changed his perspective, not seeing failure as a defeat, but as an opportunity to learn, he gradually became more resilient and successful. Failure is no longer something to be afraid of, but becomes a teacher to help you become stronger. Challenges and adversity are like complex math problems. When we solve them, we will take a step forward in our journey to maturity. Letting go does not mean giving up everything, but learning to keep what is truly important and letting go of unnecessary burdens. In modern society, we are often caught up in the whirlwind of fame, money, and pressure. When we learn to let go, we find peace of mind. A businessman used to live in a whirlwind of work, losing time for family and friends. When he realized what was important, he decided to reduce work pressure, spend time taking care of himself and his loved ones. He did not give up his career, but chose to do other things to keep his mind at peace. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, but the strength to control life in a more positive way. One of the greatest strengths a person can have is self-discipline. When we master ourselves and constantly strive to improve, we can overcome any difficulty. A farmer who worked tirelessly, trained himself, and persevered, despite difficult living conditions. Over the years, thanks to his diligence and never-give-up spirit, he achieved a stable life and successfully raised his children. What matters is not the starting point, but how we take each step. Self-awareness not only helps us overcome laziness, but is also the foundation for long-term and sustainable development. Gratitude is not just an action, but a state of mind that helps us connect with the people around us. When we are grateful for what we have and those who have helped us, we live happier and more peaceful lives. Imagine a person who always thanks everyone in life. Even the smallest things, he always appreciates. This has helped him build strong relationships and receive help when needed. Caring for others is not only an act of charity, but also a connection from heart to heart. When we care for someone, we truly enrich our souls. Suffering is inevitable, but it is also a great teacher that helps us grow. When we learn to overcome and accept suffering, we find true strength within ourselves. Don't forget that happiness comes not only from comfort, but also from the great lessons that life brings. Cherish those who love you, learn from failure, and move forward strongly. Life is a journey, and challenges are the way for us to become stronger and live more meaningfully. Suffering, if viewed positively, can become an invaluable lesson, helping us grow and understand the suffering of others. From this understanding, compassion and love have the opportunity to grow. Buddha taught that only when we understand suffering can we truly love and sympathize with others. A father lost his only child in an accident due to someone else's fault. The pain seemed unbearable. However, through meditation and looking deeply into the pain, he decided to forgive the person who caused the loss. This forgiveness not only freed the offender, but also brought him lightness and peace. Compassion and forgiveness are not easy things, but they have the power to change both ourselves and others. Suffering is something that no one wants to encounter, but if we can face and overcome it, we will no longer be the same person. Our hearts will be more open, ready to accept and share with everyone around us. As the Buddha taught, compassion comes from understanding suffering. One of the causes of suffering is stubbornness and the desire to control everything in life. We're often obsessed with achieving something or having things happen the way we want. However, life is impermanent and nothing can last forever. When we realize this, we will learn to let go of unnecessary things and find peace in every moment. A woman always wanted to control everything in her family, from the decoration of the house, the hours of all members, to the decisions of others. This made her stressed and tired. But when she learned to let go and allow people to live the way they wanted, she realized that control does not always bring happiness. Instead, she found joy when people around her lived freely and happily. Letting go is a way to free yourself from unnecessary burdens and create space for true happiness. When you let go of things you cannot control, you will feel lighter and more at ease. Fear is one of the biggest factors that prevent people from moving forward. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of not being recognized. All these things make us hesitate and not dare to step out of our comfort zone. However, facing the fear and turning it into motivation is the key to success. A mountaineer dared to face his fear of heights to conquer the most dangerous peak. Every step was a challenge, but he kept going. After conquering the peak, he realized that it was not the height of the mountain that was the biggest challenge, but the fear in his heart. Conquering yourself is the greatest thing. Facing fear not only helps us overcome our own limits, but also opens the door to new opportunities in life. Courage does not mean not knowing fear, but knowing how to move forward despite being afraid. The power of gratitude and compassionate actions. When gratitude is present in the mind, everything seems more beautiful. Gratitude is not just an action expressed through words, but a sincerity from the bottom of the heart when feeling what we have. It helps us live happily and connect with the people around us. A young man is always grateful for what he receives. He often helps the homeless by providing free meals on weekends. These small actions have helped him make a big change in the community he lives in. For him, gratitude is not just something expressed through words, but a specific action to make the world a better place. When we live with gratitude and compassion, we not only enrich ourselves, but also spread joy and happiness to others. That is the motivation to live better every day. There is no success without failures. What is important is how we perceive and face those failures. If we only see failure as something shameful, we will not learn anything from it. But if we see failure as an opportunity to learn, we will become more mature. There are people who fail many times in business, losing all their assets and the trust of everyone around them. But instead of giving up, he was determined to find the cause of failure and learn from his mistakes. After many years of perseverance, he has built a strong business. For him, failure is not the end, but the beginning of change. Failure is an opportunity for us to look back at ourselves, adjust our direction, and continue moving forward. Don't be afraid of failure. Be afraid of not daring to stand up after falling. Sometimes in modern life, we forget the value of honesty and love. We are busy chasing after frivolous things, illusions, and forget who we really are. Being true to ourselves, loving and accepting ourselves and those around us is the best way to have a meaningful life. A girl always lives in the expectations of her parents and society. She has to study a profession she doesn't love, do a job that doesn't bring her joy, and live a life that is not hers. Until one day, she decided to give up everything to pursue her passion. Despite many difficulties, she finally found true happiness when she lived as her true self. Happiness is not living according to other people's wishes, but finding meaning in the life we choose. Loving yourself and living honestly is the best way to bring happiness and peace of mind. Life is a journey full of surprises, challenges, and happy moments. Suffering is not something we need to avoid, but something we need to accept and learn from. Only when we go through suffering can we clearly see the value of happiness and love. Cherish those who are with you in the most difficult times. Don't be afraid of challenges and don't be afraid of failure. Every step on the path of life is an opportunity for you to learn and grow. Live well, live with gratitude and sincerity. Life will always be beautiful when we know how to love and accept ourselves.